Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Amjad Abdul Latif, and this our group project presentation. Now I will talk about X-ray imaging. Firstly, what's the X-ray imaging device? How does it work? And what's it used for? Actually, the X-ray device is one of the most important radiology equipment, which is an integral part of the equipment used in modern medicine. The X-ray device mainly uses electromagnetic radiation, and an X-ray device sends individual X-ray particles through the body. And the pictures are recorded through a computer or film, and we actually used for diagnose and detect injuries to tissues or bone structure. And yes, so now about how we can choose a device for or X-ray imaging device for the our local hospital. So we put firstly features that the hospital needs for the X-ray device. So here we have a list that contains features that we needed for our device. So first we have the X-ray tube, then high voltage generator, a device that can and the device should or can be moved and tilted in several positions. It bears different weight and contains safety tools, imaging intensifiers, and the device should have automatic exposure control, which is AEC, and finally heat dissipation rate and heat capacity of anode. Finally, the device should have a warranty. So now this our specification and details for each part. So in the left side, as we can see here, we have the same list that we talked before. So for the X-ray tube and high voltage generator, we actually looked for performance or the quality. So it's very important for our device. Okay, for a device that can be moved and tilted in several positions. So actually we need the control with different angles, different position. So it's very important that we can use with different position with any patient. So it bears different, number 4, it bears different weights and contains safety tools. So here it's very important. So the device should, the maximum weight should not be less than 200 kilogram for the high performance. And then we have image intensifiers. So it must have at least 3 domain image intensifiers. So then we have the AEC. The device should have this system, which is automatic exposure control. So it's very important. The device should have these features. It's very important. And then we about the power requirements. So the device should its power from the 220 to 240 VAC, and the frequency should be between 50 and 60 hertz. Finally, about the warranty, at least should be 1 year. So now next we have the product comparison table. As we can see here, we have a table that shows the comparison between several company that we can give so that can we get our device from it. So for the left side, as we can see here, the parts that we give it the rate for each company. So we give so we rated this part from each company. So as we can see, finally in total, the Apple get actually got the 7 out of 8, so which is the high rate, the higher rate here. So our device, we can get it from this Apple company. So as per the Comparation, Apple is the best company, and Precision 500D and Precision RX imaging are the backup companies. So I hope that I did well in this presentation and give the best method to choose our device for this hospital. And thank you for listening.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Safwan Hashim. I'm a senior biomedical engineering student at King Abdulaziz University. As everybody knows, it is very important that every biomedical engineer should know how to evaluate different alternative devices in the medical field in order to make the right decision purchase for the hospital. And today, inshallah, I'm going to evaluate different medical devices or different MRI devices and choose the right alternative depending on specific criteria. First of all, I'm going to talk about the technical specifications. Then I'll pass through the tender document, which is a document that is proposed to the vendors. Then I will obtain different alternative devices. Then we can make the right decision based on our criteria. So let's start with the technical specifications for the King Faisal Specialty and Research Hospital. First, we have to consider the shape type. It is very important for the claustrophobic people, the people who suffer from being on tight places. Also, the area is very important, so we can calculate the area needed to be specified for the MRI device. As we all know, we need to consider different things in this. For example, the Gaussian area, so we avoid a lot of dangerous things. Also, the magnet type is very important in our decision. The availability also of the device is important in making the decision, because the maintenance and the service, it is required to have, or it is preferable to have a vendor from the Middle East, or at least or in the near region. The price is like the first issue that faces every hospital in buying the very expensive devices like an MRI, which is considered one of the most expensive between them. Okay, for the tender document, and this will be given to vendors, so we can obtain the different alternatives. For here, we have the system, which is the MRI system. The application, we prefer to have a whole body tomography, so we can use the MRI to diagnose as much people as we can. The option is wide bore, as we said, for the claustrophobic people. The magnet intensity, it is between 1.5 to 3 Tesla. The area is estimated to be like 30 meters square. And the availability, we prefer to have vendors from the Middle East. So moving to the comparison list, as we can see, we have 5 different alternatives from different vendors. Most of them are from outside the region. All of them are whole body tomography, which is our need exactly. But 2 of them, which is the SignCare and Ingenia, are wide bore. So these are our desired criteria. So as you can see here, we can decide our priority or our right decision based on the different criteria. And I have used a criteria that is called the weighted decision-making analysis. It is based on the making 1 for a successful criteria and 0 for not meeting the criteria. So after doing this analysis, we have the highest score, which is for Ingenia. So it is our first purchase decision. And the second, or the backup plan, will be for 2 devices, which is for Supermark and SignCare. Thank you for listening. I hope everything is clear. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you all.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My name is Abdullah Abdurrahman Al-Haddad, and this is my part for the group project, which is the ultrasound imaging device. I'm going to present to you today first what is the ultrasound imaging and how important it is. Then the hospital will choose the criteria of choosing the device. After that, we will take device comparison. And finally, the chosen device and on what information we choose it. So, ultrasound imaging. What is this? The ultrasound imaging device use sound waves to produce picture inside of the body. It also helps in diagnose the causes of the pain, swelling and infection in the body, also internal organs, and to examine the unborn child, fetus, and pregnant women. Also in infants, doctors commonly use the ultrasound to evaluate the brain, the hips, and the spine. It also helps to guide biopsies, also to diagnose the heart conditions and assess the damage after a heart attack. Also, the ultrasound considered to be safe, non-invasive, and does not use any radiation. For the criteria of our hospital, we need the ultrasound system device to be portable. Its frequency should be able to reach at least 10 megahertz. It should have a colored Doppler mode. It should be available within the Middle East market. Also, it need to comes with at least 2 or more transducer. Now for the devices comparison, first we have the T3300, which is a from PingQ Medical Technology. Its input method is a touch screen. Its screen size is 13 inches. Its imaging modes, Doppler, spectral Doppler, color Doppler, and BW. Transducers, convex array, linear array, micro-convex array, and phased array. As for its frequency, it can be ranged from 2 megahertz to 13 megahertz to 15 megahertz, as its prices for all of these devices are not available. Also for the application, all of these devices are multi-purpose ultrasound imaging devices, as well as all of them achieve our criteria from the hospital. The next one we have is the H1300, also from PingQ Medical Technology. It's use touch screen. Its screen size is 8 inches. Its imaging modes is PW, color Doppler, and spectral Doppler. For its transducer, it has linear array, convex array, phased array. Its frequency from 2 megahertz to 15 megahertz. Third one, we have the M9 from Bromid Technology. It doesn't have touch screen. It has a built-in console. Its screen size is 15 inches. It has imaging modes of BW, color doubler, and spectral doubler. Also, it has a convex trans signal, high frequency linear array, and microconvex HD array. For its frequency, it ranges from 2 megahertz to 12 megahertz. And the fourth one is the Deuce 3000. It's from the Advanced Instrumentations. It's input method built-in console. Its screen size 12 inches. For the image modes, it has only color doubler. For the transducer, it has linear array, convex array, micro convex array, and curvature. For the frequencies, it ranges from 2 megahertz to 16 megahertz. And finally, we have the MF3800 from Chiang Ultrasound Medical. It has a built-in console, 15 inches, BW, color doubler, 3D, 4D, spectral doubler. Also, it has a convex array, linear array, microconvex array, and a phased array. It ranges from 2 megahertz to 15 megahertz. From the previous table, we can see that all of the 5 devices achieve our specifications, so we need to compare on the extra features. We choose the XF3800 portable ultrasound system since it has an extra imaging mode compared to the other, even though it has a built-in console instead of touch screen, which can be considered not modern, but most of the doctors, maybe up to 18% or 80% will prefer to use these devices since they are familiar with them, which is the second reason, as well as it has a 15 inches screen, which is the largest compared to the other portable devices, as well as its company have a branch in Saudi Arabia, which will provide easier communication. Thank you for listening.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Isam Al-Amri, and today I'm going to present my part of the group project, which is computed tomography, CT. Here is the introduction. CT was the first diagnostic imaging technique that offers direct visualization of brain soft tissues. And after I put the introduction here, there are some features which is so much important for the CT that every CT should have it. So X-ray source, it has to be in any CT an X-ray source, and detecting system, and a device that can be moved and titled in several positions. Number 4, it bears different weight and contains safety tools. Number 5, reconstrain algorithm. Number 6, X-ray tube. And number 7, a gantry with a ring of X-ray sensitive detectors. Number 8, warranty. This is the 8 features which is the most important features as I searched for it in Google, and I found these 8 to be the most important features for any CT devices. So I put the tender document here with a little bit of details. And as you can see here, finally, I brought 3 different CTs with 3 different categories and 3 different companies which bought them, which are they selling them. And as you can see here, we have CT scanner, Science Care CT 64, and the other one which called Science Care Blue, and the last one which called Anatom S800. And you can find the similarities here that all of them are CT scanner, and all of them also for the whole body tomography. Here is a little bit of difference, which is the first one could gain 64 slices, 128 slices, and the second one could contain 32 slices, with the last one, the largest one could be. So from here, all the features, I bought a comparison tool, and finally, after I searched for it, how many hospitals that have every one of them, I finally I just bought a percentage for each one of them, and I kind of like find out that CT scanner science care is the most useful one for many companies. So that's it for me, and thank you for listening.